and welcome to this week's nutrition class. My name is Nicole Cheney and I have a degree in child nutrition. And this week is going to be our second video of our video series we're doing a whole video series of the different stages of development of children and nutrition they need at each stage. So this stage is newborn to 6 months. So let's get right down to it. Kind of discussing the whole big question, breast milk or formula, which one's better, which one's best. And really, it's whatever works best for you. We're going to cover the nutrition value between both of them, and you can decide which one you want to do for your child, okay? So, choosing between the two of them is probably the biggest decision for a parent, okay? And while decisions are based on a number of different comforts and lifestyle and medical factors overall, it's a personal one, right? This is a personal one, whether you want to do this or breastfeed or do formula, okay? So we're going to kind of go over nutritional values of breastfeeding and formula milk, okay? And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over your diet if you're breastfeeding a little bit, okay? Passing on nutritional habits to your child if you're breastfeeding, because that's a big one for breastfeeding. And a lot of moms don't realize that they're actually passing on their eating habits to their child with their breastfeeding, okay? And then just kind of like some supplements that you can use if you are breastfeeding, okay? So let's get right to it. So breastfeeding should be done between the newborn and 6 months of it. Okay, if that's what you're doing, you need to be doing that. You need to be doing it a little bit further as well, but that is the main source of nutrients for this infant from 0 to 6 is milk. So you need to be doing that, right? And breast milk is just filled with all necessary nutrition that the baby needs at this stage of development, okay? It's a essential source of nourishment containing antibodies to help fight help the baby fight off viruses, bacteria, and it has water, carbohydrates, proteins, enzymes, and fatty acids for vital brain development. And that is like the big key in this stage is brain development for an infant, okay? So what studies have found that babies who are breastfed actually have less digestive issues or like being colic, stuff like that, than babies that are formula fed, okay? And it's just because it's what I have found with my patients, okay? It is because of the texture of the milk. The milk's a little bit different. The milks are different textures, right? And it just kind of like digests a little bit easier in the baby's stomach due to the texture and the thickness of the milk, okay? And what other studies have also shown with breastfeeding is that it can help your child further on with like type 2 diabetes and obesity, stuff like that. And that is based on your eating habits during the breastfeeding period. So if you do pick breastfeeding, it's a little bit more complicated than just giving the child milk. You have to kind of like look and watch what you're eating at that time as well, because the baby, which is really cool, tastes what you're eating through the milk as well. So let's say like in the previous video that I just did, I did the study of women and carrot juice, pregnant breastfeeding, and then moms not doing it at all, and the results with that. And it's really cool that the babies were able to taste the carrot juice in the breast milk and liked carrots when they were starting to get introduced with food. So that's like really cool. So if you haven't watched that video, go watch it. I'll put the link below and you can go watch that video. So you can kind of get like the details of the study. It's like really cool that you're like, you know, they can taste the food you're eating, which is like really cool. Okay, but now we're gonna kind of dive into formula milk. Okay, formula milk is the best alternative to human milk. Okay, formulas digest slower than human milk, which means the infant is fed when it needs to eat less. Okay, so it has a slower digestion, which of course causes the digestive problems that some babies have, like colic and stuff like that, because the formula digests slower. Okay, but because of that, it also eats less of the time than breastfed babies. Okay, because it's full longer. Does that make sense? Okay, so nowadays many brands with formula milk actually have like added vitamins and nutrients to it, so it basically replicates breast milk, which is really cool. The nutrients that's behind the breast milk, so that includes like iron, which is necessary for like well, risk of edema, obviously, okay, in newborns and infants, which is actually a pretty high risk. Okay, so we'll kind of like with breastfeeding, we'll kind of go into supplements, and iron is like a big one because it can actually cause a lot of problems. A lot of problems can cause your baby to lose weight, and so at this stage, iron is a huge play for babies. Okay, the formula milks now also have probiotics. Okay, and this is specifically to release and improve the colic and lower risk of food allergies. Okay, so they've now infused the formula with these probiotics, so it's these formulas now coming out are looking better and better every single day as they come out, and so much better for your baby's tummy as well. So back when I was pregnant with my first, she started losing weight, and what I wish I knew at that stage that I know now is she started losing weight because she was low in iron. The doctor never told me that. They wanted me to put her on a special formula that cost a lot of money, okay? And we just couldn't do that. So we were trying everything. She was still losing weight, and if I had known she was just low in iron, she was at the 6-month stage, we would have started trying meats out. Okay, because we hadn't even started food yet, okay, when she started losing weight. And if I'd known that, we would have started doing vegetables that were high in iron, so like spinach, broccoli, you know, and then I would have started her on meats a lot earlier than that, or, you know, chickpeas or lentils to get the protein and the iron in. And if I had known that, it would have been like so much better. But these formulas now have that all in there. It has it all infused, those iron and the vitamins, so they're looking better and better every single day, which is amazing. Okay, so now let's kind of go into the diet of the mother if you are breastfeeding. Okay, so I have my little notes here. We're gonna go through them and we're gonna get right down. So if you are a breastfeeding mama, you're losing calories like crazy, so you want to replace them for your nutritional benefit and your babies. Okay, so like you can burn an extra 300 to 500 calories just by breastfeeding, which is nuts, right? But you want to replace the protein, okay? And this is needed to ensure the body can build, repair, support the baby's tissues and organs. So you want to replace your protein, okay? You also want to replace your iron, like I've said before, okay? Because this is necessary for the baby's brains for development, okay? It's also essential to maintain energy and prevent fatigue in you mamas, okay? So if you're starting to feel tired while you're breastfeeding, breastfeeding is hard work, done it, okay? So you are generally tired, but if it's like more, it's like an exhaustion, okay, that you can't even, if your baby cries in the middle of the night, you can't even get up to feed it, that means you're starting to get, you're not starting, you have low iron, okay? So you want to replace that, okay? The next one is omega-3 fatty acids. So this is needed for the developmental of the eyes and the brain in babies. So this is super important, okay? So fatty fish, as well as, like eggs, milk, even orange juice is a great source for omega-3s, okay? The next one is calcium. So this is very important for breastfeeding moms, okay? And the reason being is that their diet is in this essential mineral deficiency. It's like the baby's just taking all your minerals away from your body, okay? So your body will actually start removing calcium from your bones and weaken your bones if you don't replace it enough for you and the baby, okay? So you want to get that calcium in. So dairy products, milk, broccoli also has calcium in it, and you just want to start replacing it so your bones don't get weak and the baby doesn't start taking it from your bones. Okay, we don't want that. So if you are vegan or vegetarian and breastfeeding, dark leafy greens again, okay? Dark leafy greens are your friend when you're pregnant and breastfeeding, okay? Tofu and soy is also a great way to get calcium into your bodies as well. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about passing on nutritional habits to your child, because when you're breastfeeding, this is what happens. And I shared with the study last video about the carrot juice, and this is like super important. So we're going to go over what is called an eat well plate. Okay, the plate I'm going to show you is for children, and this is the children from age 4 to 6. Okay, I'm going to use it as an example, and we can talk about what the mom should be eating to help with the child's habits and keeping you healthy while breastfeeding. Okay, now this is an eat well plate, and is based off of age 4 and 6, and this is what they need for their developmental stage. Okay, so when you are breastfeeding, you want this fruits and vegetables to be more than half. Okay, you want to take kind of that out, your fatty and sugary foods out, obviously, and move the meat over. Okay, you want the dairy, and then you want the bread, the pastas, and potatoes, just to be a little bit smaller to kind of make room for the meat over here. Okay, so it's basically the breakdown of it. You want mostly fruits and vegetables on it, and then it's your protein source, that's the next biggest, and then your bread, rice, pasta, and potatoes are the next biggest, and then your dairy is the smallest. Okay, so you kind of want to create that little atmosphere starting while you're breastfeeding, so they get a good taste of vegetables and fruit, and a great variety of it as well. And then again, they also see you eating it, so when they start trying the food out, they're gonna be like, oh, mommy eats this all the time. They're gonna want to try it. Okay, what I found with my girls, okay, I was vegan before I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, kind of lessened it. I got more flexible with my diet, became a little bit more whole foods, and then afterwards I went back to vegetarian while I was breastfeeding, and then once I was done breastfeeding, I went back to vegan, and that's because of just how my body felt during it. I have severe IBS, okay, so, and huge food sensitivities. I do not anymore because I was vegan for long enough. It actually helped heal my gut, and now I can generally eat whatever I want, whenever I want. But with my children seeing the way I was eating and always having fruits and vegetables in the house, fresh fruits and vegetables in the house, growing my food, they're seeing where it's all coming from. They love fruits and vegetables. They love it. They love being able to go in the backyard, picking it off and eating it, okay? Picking an apple out of a tree, picking a grape off the vine and eating it, right? So just with me and my habits and them seeing me do this, and they're now doing that with me, and I'm not pushing them. It's not a fight. Well, sometimes it's a fight to get the vegetable in, my oldest, but if you just kind of like implement it young, it's a lot easier to kind of handle as they get older, and they create great healthy habits. Okay, Now, we're going to kind of go into the supplements now if you're breastfeeding. So, breast milk provides all nutrients the infant needs from the first 6 months of life, okay? But some parents should consider the supplements that I'm suggesting, just because it will help you as a mom breastfeeding more than the baby, because the baby's taking all the nutrients from you, right? So, vitamin D, breast milk does not actually supply enough vitamin D for the baby. So breastfeeding moms can pass some vitamins on to their child through food, such as salmon or a vitamin D fortified milk juice. However, it's generally wise to have a vitamin D supplement because, well, it's met all daily requirements for you and the baby if you have an actual supplement, okay? Vitamin B12, people who do not eat meat do not get enough vitamin B12, okay? So breastfeeding mothers who eat exclusively plant-based or vegetarian diet should have a supplement of vitamin B12, okay? And then, of course, calcium and zinc, again, with vegan mothers or vegetarian moms. They do not eat dairy, so they're not going to have enough calcium or zinc for the baby to develop, or for them, and the baby can start taking it from their bones, and you don't want that. You don't want rickety bones just from being pregnant, right? While you're breastfeeding, I want to say this is you need to stay hydrated, because, well, the fluid in the breast milk is typically significant, is great for the infant. This is great. However, a baby becomes hydrated, or if they have a fever or anything like that, they start vomiting, they need to be supplemented with water, okay, to help with the dehydration. So you need to be hydrated as well to create the breast milk. Be great. But if the child does become sick, talk to your physician, see how they go about it. We did Pedialyte, a little bit Pedialyte with the breast milk, but some doctors or dietitians just say water, so that could just help you out right there, just by staying hydrated, okay? So this video, we have talked over the nutritional values of breast milk, and formula, and then kind of what you should eat if you're breastfeeding, and just so you're aware, because, well, the baby needs those nutrients, but also you're going to be passing on your habits to your child as well. So you want to make sure you're eating pretty healthy. And then now we've gone over some supplements to help you reach the nutritional needs of you and your baby. So that's our video for today. Tune in for next week. Next week, we are going to be doing 6 to 12 months. Okay, and this is the fun stage. This is when they start eating food. This is when they get all messy. So I cannot wait to share that with you guys. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.